Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Cut and Sew with Chika Dibia. So in this video I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful gathered gown. The gather is outside, as you can see, so keep watching, and if you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment on my videos. So let's get started. I am going to be making use of 3 years for this particular project because my client is on a smaller side. I folded my material into two and I marked my starting line, placing my tape on a straight line like so. I'm going to be marking down the borders of the gown. Okay, so I am going to mark my armhole point at 8 inches, my bust point at 10 inches, my waist point at 16, my hip point at 24, and the length of the gown before the gather. Okay, mine is 30 inches, so I marked it down there. I had 29 and added 1 inches, making it 30 inches. Okay, so let it not confuse you. I used 30 inches in the video. So after that, next thing I did was to divide my shoulder circumference, that's my client's shoulder circumference, into two. So my client's shoulder circumference divided by 2 is 7.5. okay, so I'm going to mark it down there, 7.5. Mark it down all the way to the armhole point, making my armhole line. Okay, so after you connect from your shoulder to your armhole line, connect it on a straight line. That same line, come down by 1 inch from your shoulder point for your shoulder slope. Okay, then go in by 3 inches for the wideness of your neck. Mark it down, then connect it to the 1 inch that you came down with for your shoulder slope, then connect the lines together. Depth of the neck, where I came down by 1 inch for the back. First we are marking for the back, so I came down by 1 inch, then connect it together. Okay, like so. Then for the armhole, I am going to divide my bust circumference by 4, the plus 2 inches seam allowance. That's what I am going to do at the armhole point. That's my bust circumference, divide by 4. Add your 2 inches allowance, then mark your curve, your armhole curve. Okay, after that I'm going to put down the same measurement I have on the armhole to the bust point. My bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. Okay, then I'm going to take it down there. On the waist, I'm going to divide my client's waist circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. And on the hip, I'm going to divide my hip circumference, that's my client's hip circumference, divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. And on the full length, I'm going to divide the hip circumference divided by 4 plus same 2 inches seam allowance, then connect the lines together. So we are done with the cutting of the body. Okay, this is the front bodies, so I'm going to cut out the front bodies now with my scissors. And this is where I added the 30 inches that I told you earlier in the video. So I'm cutting out the front bodies now. We are going to use these same front bodies to cut out another bodies, which is the back bodies. Okay, so let's do that. This material is too soft and slippery, so if you leave it, your measurement is going to not be the same. So that's why I'm using pin to hold it. So now I folded my material into two here, and this is the front bodies I have. So I'm going to place my back bodies on top of the material, having 1.5 inches allowance space, like so. I have 1.5 inches allowance space before placing the front bodies. This is how I'm going to cut the back bodies. That 1.5 inches allowance is for my zipper allowance. That's for the zip allowance. Okay, that's where I'm going to put my zip. So I'm going to use my scissors now to trace out the back bodies. Okay, using my front bodies to trace out the back bodies. So for the neck depth for the front piece, now I am going to come down by 1 inch for the back neck depth. I'm going to extend that 1 inch to the back of the gown. Okay, then after that I'm going to remember that the wideness of the neckline is 3 inches. So I have my 3 inches here intact. So for the front depth of the neckline, that's the depth of the front neckline, is 4 inches. So I marked 4 inches for the front piece, then connect it to the wideness of the neck, which is at 3 inches, and that is for the neck measurements. So I'm going to start cutting out the excesses. Okay, this is how I am cutting out the neckline. Watch carefully. So I opened up the back slit, that's where I had my zipper allowance, then do some excesses cutting. Okay, then cut off my shoulder slope, and that is it for the body of the gown. So next thing we're going to do is to cut the sleeve. So for the sleeve, we're going to be having a balloon sleeve, okay, but it's not going to be too big. So I have my remaining material with me. I'm going to fold it into 2. The sleeve is not going to be a long sleeve, it's a short balloon sleeve. So first, after placing it into 2 places, I placed my tape on a straight line. I marked 14 inches as the length of the sleeve, then marked the starting point of the sleeve. Then I am going to divide my armhole by 2, my client's round armhole by 2, added extra 2 inches allowance to it. That is what I have here in a slanted way. Then I have to slant it. So the wideness of this sleeve is 11 inches. You can make yours 12, 13, 14, 15, depending on how wide you want your balloon sleeve to be. My client is on the smaller size, so you make what fits her. Yeah. So I'm going to start cutting out the sleeve now, and I'm going to cut 2 of these. It's a balloon sleeve, so it's going to be having an elastic at the end. Okay, so after we're done with the sleeve cutting, we're going to move over to the next step. So we're going to be adding the gathers at the down side. Okay, so I have my full body length, which is 30 inches, and I'm going to determine the length of the gathered part. The length of the gathered part should be extra 10 inches, okay, making it 40 inches in total. That's the full length of the gown, 40 inches. So I have to bring the remaining piece for the gather. I folded it into 2, and I'm going to mark the 10 inches plus, and I'm going to add 2 inches extra for folding and the gather stuff. Okay, because I want the gather to be too full, I was only cutting the upper side of this material, and I left the downside of the material for the gather. So the gather is as wide as the wideness of this gather is up to 3 yards, because I was cutting the down part of the gather. So we have 3 yards of the gather, like the gather is up to 3 yards, and I also joined it 3 yards, but I also joined it, making it up to 6 yards. Okay, I joined it, as you can see in the video how I joined it. I also joined the ends of the 3 yards because I folded it into 2. I marked down 12 inches. I marked down 12 inches, then cut it into 2 and joined it together to make it up to 6 yards. I want the gather to be very, very full. So after that, I'm going to gather the upper part, and on the downside I'm going to hem the down part of the material. Then I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like. So next, I am going to be adding my interfacing to the body of the gown. So I'm going to, this is the remaining piece of the material. I'm going to fold it into 2, bring my the front bodies like this, place it exactly like so, and I'm going to trace out the neckline like this. Just watch what I'm doing in the video. So I'm going to remove it and curve it like so. This is what it's going to look like. I'm going to place it right side facing right side, and I'm going to sew on it like so. Then fold the edges, iron it down. I'm going to do the same for the back. I'm going to use the remaining piece, place my back piece like so, because the back has an opening for zip, I'm going to open the back and I'm going to trace it like so, and curve it like so, and that is it for the back neck interfacing. I have 2 of it, so I am going to place it right side facing right side for the back, and I'm going to sew exactly. I'm going to place it like right side facing right side like this and sew like so, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end of the day after ironing. This is what it looks like after ironing. So this is the back piece, the 2 back piece after fixing the interfacing, and I'm going to create a room for the zipper allowance. Remember, we went in by 1.5, so now we are going to go in by 1 inch for the zip. We are going to go in by 1 inch or 1.5 inch, depending. That half inch is for joining, but the maximum for zip is 1 inch. So for the zip, I have my 20 inches zip. I'm going to mark to my 24 inches in length zip. I mark 23 inches. Then I'm going to close up that place that I just marked. I'm going to run a stitch on it and leave the other side for zip. So I'm going to pin everything up to allow me to join everything together very well. So I'm going to pin up everything, and that place that I marked, I'm going to run a stitch there, and that is just it for the back. So this is my zipper allowance. Okay, so now I am going to join the 2 shoulders together, since I have pinned down my zipper allowance. So I'm going to place the front piece on the back piece like so. Then I'll bring out my 2 interfacing and the body of the gown, place it together, pin it down like so. I'll place my interfacing against the bodies like so, and I'll pin it down, and I will run a stitch on them. I will do this on both sides of the shoulder. Okay, so this is what it looks like after joining them, and I have my body, the body of the gown together now. So this is my zipper allowance. So okay, this is my zipper allowance. I've run that stitch that I told you that I'm going to run. I've run it, and also I still pinned down the place that I'm going to add my zip. So let's shape the gown. So next thing to do is to shape the gown. Okay, I'm going to use my client's measurement to shape her gown, and here I am done shaping her gown. This is what it looks like after shaping the 2 sides of the gown. So next I'm going to run a stitch on both sides of the gown where I just marked my chalk. I'm going to run a stitch on it and show you what it looks like. So this is the gown after shaping. I've not ironed it, there's no light, so let's move on. So this is the gown after shaping. So the next thing we're going to do is to add the sleeve. Okay, I'm checking out my shoulder circumference. My client's shoulder circumference is 15 and we have 15. I'm trimming off the excesses on the shoulder, okay, the armhole. So next thing I'm going to do is to add the sleeve. So I'm going to notch the center of my sleeve. I'm going to notch the center. Then at the down part, I am going to fold in by 1 inch. The elastic I'm using is 1/2 inch elastic. So I'm going to fold in 1 inch on the down part of the sleeve. So now I am done folding in by 1 inch. As you can see, I'm going to use my elastic now I'm just checking how how much elastic I would be needing. So I'm going to use my pin to put in the elastic at this on the sleeve. Okay, then I'm also going to determine how the sleeve curve for my client. Okay, so it's an elastic, it's very wide, so there's no need making it too big because it's still going to tight my client. So I am going to move over to my machine now and stitch up the elastic. I notched the center of the sleeve. I notched the sleeve, then attach it to the armhole, right side facing right side. I'm going to pin it all the way around the sleeve opening. Okay, I'm going to pin it around the sleeve opening, and this is what it looks like. Of course, let me turn it around. You're going to see what it looks like after pinning. I'm going to run a stitch around the sleeve, and I will also close it up using the direction of my hands. That's where I'm going to sew. So now I'm going to do the same on both sides of the sleeve, that the gown. Okay, and next thing I'm going to do is to attach the gather to the body of the gown. Attaching the gather, I am going to measure around the down part of the gown like so. So I have about 45 inches, okay, 43 inches there. So I'm going to make sure that I have 43 inches wideness on the gather, and I'll add extra 2 inches or 1 inch to it, making it 40. So I'm going to make sure that the gather has 44 inches. I added extra 1 inch to the gather, so I have exactly 43 inches on the gather, just the way it is on the gown. So I'm going to add extra 1 inch, making it 44. Okay, now I'm going to attach it to the gown. So I am going to attach the gather to the gown now. So before I attach the gather to the gown, I make sure that I close up this gather like so. I bring the two sides of the gather and close it up, okay, to form a circle. And now I am done closing it up. It now looks like a skirt now, so that way it will be easier for me to attach to the gown. So now I'm going to normally the way you attach your gather, you close it up by making it face right side to facing right side, but now I am going to face the wrong side to the right side because I want the design of the gather to be outside. So it's going to be like that. Okay, it's going to be like the way I place it now. So in order to make the work very easy, I came up by half inch. Then I marked it around the gown. Okay, I marked it around the gown like so that the work will be very easy for me. This thing you see, I don't know if it's the way I did mine. I don't know if there are easier way to attach this, because I found it very hard to do. So I'm going to be using my pin to be attaching it all the way around. And please take note, before you gather your gathers, please take it to the weaving machine before gathering it. It will make the work easier for the weaving person, for the person that is weaving it. Okay, so after I'm done, I'm going to run a stitch around the gown like so, and this is how it came out. It came out so beautiful. Okay, as you can see, the weaving, I used the yellow for the weaving because there are so many colors there, but the yellow is the perfect color for it. It came out so nice, just as in the picture. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in my next video. Bye.